If you look the wrong way, attraction dies instantly. Most men have been there. You notice her body before you even realize it. Your eyes drift for a second, maybe a little too long, and suddenly the energy shifts. She pulls back. The conversation cools. You feel awkward, guilty, or unsure of yourself. And no one ever explains what actually went wrong. Here's the reality. Noticing a woman's body is natural. It's biological. What gets men into trouble is not the instinct. It's the lack of control that follows it. Most men either stare and kill attraction, or they overcorrect, avoid eye contact, and come across as insecure. Both mistakes send the same message. You are not grounded in yourself. Folks, I'm not here to shame you or tell you to suppress desire. I'm here to show you how disciplined men handle it. In today's world, especially now, women respond to men who can manage their gaze, their energy, and their intent without becoming creepy or apologetic. In this video, you'll learn why where you look matters, how long you look matters, and what your eyes communicate before you ever speak. You'll understand how self-control creates safety, why safety fuels attraction, and how a calm masculine presence changes how women feel around you. If you've ever felt unsure in these moments, stay with me. What's coming next will sharpen your awareness and change how you carry yourself. Let's get into it. Number 1. Men notice breasts first. Let's be straight about a biological reality most men feel but rarely admit. Men notice breasts first. Not because they are crude, not because they are disrespectful, but because male attention is wired to register sexual markers before social context catches up. This happens in a fraction of a second, long before intention, judgment, or restraint step in. Think about John, 47, a regional sales director in Atlanta, meeting Sarah, 41, at a colleague's birthday dinner. As she leans in to greet him, his eyes register her chest for an instant. He feels a flash of awareness, then immediately looks away. Nothing inappropriate happens, yet John feels self-conscious. He wonders if that instinct makes him less disciplined. It doesn't. It makes him human. Here's where most men go wrong. They confuse noticing with staring. Noticing is reflexive. Staring is a choice. Sarah does not react to John's brief glance because her nervous system reads it as normal. What would have changed everything is lingering, freezing, or letting guilt distort his posture and eye contact afterward. Now look at a different situation. Mark, 52, recently divorced, meets Laura, 45, on a first date in Austin. Mark is determined to be respectful, so he avoids her chest entirely. His eyes dart awkwardly. He overcorrects. Laura senses tension and reads it as insecurity, not respect. Attraction weakens not because Mark noticed too much, but because he tried to deny what his body naturally perceived. This is the uncomfortable truth. Women know men notice. What matters is how you manage yourself after that instant. Mature masculinity is not the absence of desire. It is the ability to contain it without shame or compulsion. When a man stays relaxed, grounded, and present, that brief awareness never becomes a problem. There is also context. In professional settings, awareness should pass and disappear. In social or dating environments, awareness can exist without being acted on. The mistake is assigning moral weight to a biological reflex. When men punish themselves internally, it leaks out as nervous energy. That energy is what women feel. Notice how Sarah responds to John later in the evening. He maintains eye contact, listens, and speaks calmly. His body language stays open. The earlier glance has no impact because his behavior communicates self-control. Contrast that with Mark, whose forced restraint makes him rigid and disconnected. This pattern repeats for countless men. They either linger and objectify, or they clamp down and become tense. Both extremes sabotage attraction. The balanced man accepts awareness, then returns to presence. That balance is rare, and rarity is felt immediately in conversation, posture, and tone. Here is the Stoic lesson underneath this. You are responsible for your actions, not your first impressions. Control begins after awareness, not before it. Discipline is what you do next. When you accept that noticing is natural, you stop fighting yourself. When you stop fighting yourself, you become steadier. Men who understand this stop oscillating between guilt and indulgence. They neither stare nor flinch. They remain composed. That composure signals safety, maturity, and confidence. Those qualities create attraction far more reliably than pretending desire does not exist. If this describes you, write this in the comments. I understand myself. Stay with me. The next part explains why looking too long destroys attraction. Number 2. Looking is natural. Folks, let us face an uncomfortable truth. Looking is natural. The male nervous system is visual by design, scanning shape, contrast, and fertility cues before logic catches up. That first flicker of attention is not a moral failure. It is biology doing its job. The mistake men make is not noticing. The mistake is panicking, judging themselves, or turning awareness into fixation. Here is the reality without sugarcoating it. Suppressing instinct creates tension. Indulging instinct creates creepiness. Discipline sits in the middle. You notice, then you choose. That choice is where masculine control lives. When a man accepts awareness without shame, his body relaxes. Relaxation reads as confidence. Confidence keeps attraction alive. Stoic philosophy anticipated this problem centuries ago. Epictetus taught that impressions arrive uninvited, but assent is optional. Translation: you cannot stop the first glance, but you decide what comes next. Marcus Aurelius echoed this by reminding us that the mind becomes colored by what it dwells on. If you dwell, you objectify. If you redirect, you lead. Most men sabotage themselves in the seconds after noticing. They either stare too long or they snap their eyes away like they were caught stealing. Both reactions broadcast insecurity. The grounded response is simple. Acknowledge internally. Return to eye contact. Stay present. Nothing dramatic. That steadiness tells her you are comfortable with desire and capable of managing it. Context matters here. In professional settings, awareness should pass and disappear. No second look, no lingering. Respect is clarity. In social or dating settings, awareness can exist without being acted on. The difference is intention. Are you seeking validation, or are you grounded in yourself? Women feel that difference immediately. Another truth men resist. Women know they are noticed. What they respond to is how safe they feel after being noticed. Safety is not politeness. Safety is self-control. Seneca warned that no man is free who is a slave to his impulses. Freedom in this context means you are not dragged by the first urge. You remain centered. Looking becomes a problem only when it leaks into behavior. Posture stiffens, breathing shortens, energy narrows. When you stay calm, none of that happens. Your presence stays open. Your attention stays balanced. That balance communicates maturity. Maturity is attractive because it signals reliability and strength at the same time. Here is a practical frame to carry forward. Notice. Breathe once. Recenter your gaze on her eyes. Soften your shoulders. This sequence keeps the body calm and the signal clean. Marcus Aurelius advised to stand straight, not straightened. Applied here, you do not force discipline. You embody it. When your gaze is steady and brief, curiosity replaces alarm. When it is calm and intentional, conversation flows. This is how desire stays alive, without crossing lines or creating discomfort. Control earns respect because it protects dignity on both sides and signals leadership without pressure. It also keeps interactions grounded, modern, and aligned with Stoic restraint principles. If this landed for you, Write this in the comments. I choose control. Stay with me. You will not want to miss what comes next. Number 3. Staring kills attraction. Folks, let's call this out clearly. Staring kills attraction faster than almost anything else a man can do. Not noticing, not glancing, staring. The moment your eyes linger too long, the dynamic shifts. What could have been curiosity turns into discomfort, and desire shuts down without a word being spoken. Here's why this matters. When a man stares, he stops being present and starts consuming. His attention narrows. His body stiffens. His breathing changes. The woman feels it immediately. She may not consciously analyze it, but her nervous system registers one thing. She is being watched, not engaged. That feeling does not create attraction. It creates alertness. Take a common situation. Kevin is 49, a regional manager from Phoenix, meeting Emily, 43, at a casual networking event. They're talking easily. Emily laughs, leans in, touches his arm briefly. Then Kevin's eyes drop and stay there a second too long. He doesn't say anything. He thinks he's being subtle. Emily feels the shift instantly. She straightens her posture. Her warmth fades. The conversation never fully recovers. Kevin didn't do anything outrageous. He didn't say anything inappropriate. But staring turned him from a grounded man into a source of pressure. That pressure killed the spark. Now contrast that with another scenario. Daniel, 55, a business owner from Boston, is on a first date with Melissa, 47. He notices her body for a brief moment, then calmly returns to eye contact. His face stays relaxed. His tone doesn't change. Melissa feels seen, not inspected. The attraction remains intact because Daniel never lingered long enough to break safety. This is the line most men don't understand. A glance acknowledges, a stare claims. And claiming without invitation triggers defense, not desire. Staring also creates an imbalance of power. When you fixate, you give away control. Your attention becomes obvious and uncontained. That reads as need not confidence. Desire responds to men who can regulate themselves, not men who get lost in impulse. Think about Paul, 46, recently divorced, meeting Karen, 41, at a friend's barbecue. Paul stares without realizing it, trying to memorize her body. Karen feels reduced to parts. Later she tells a friend he made her uncomfortable even though he was polite. Paul is confused because he didn't do anything wrong. What he missed was that his eyes spoke louder than his words. Staring also pulls you out of connection. Instead of listening, you're consuming visually. Instead of engaging, you're observing. Women feel that absence. Attraction needs mutual presence, not one-sided focus. Here's the truth. Mature masculinity includes visual discipline, not denial. Discipline. You notice, then you move on. You keep your attention balanced. That balance communicates self-control. Self-control communicates safety. Safety allows desire to stay alive. Men who master this don't feel tense around attractive women. They don't overcorrect or avoid eye contact. They stay relaxed. Their gaze is brief, calm, and intentional. That restraint is felt as strength. Staring feels greedy to the nervous system. Calm awareness feels confident. One repels, the other invites. If this sounds familiar, write this in the comments. I've seen this. Stay with me. The next part shows the exact wrong way most men look without realizing it. Number 4. The wrong way to look. Folks, here is the truth, plain and simple. The wrong way to look is not the quick reflex glance. The wrong way to look is what your eyes do after that, and what your body communicates while you do it. Most men do not get labeled creepy because they noticed. They get labeled creepy because their gaze turns into pressure, and pressure makes a woman feel trapped instead of desired. The first wrong pattern is the freeze. Your eyes land, and you stay there. Your face tightens. Your breathing gets shallow. Your attention narrows like a spotlight. That kind of staring is not curiosity, it is consumption. And women feel it as invasive because it tells them you are not present with them, you are extracting a feeling from them. Attraction cannot grow in that energy, it collapses. The second wrong pattern is the snap away. Some men feel guilt, so they whip their eyes back to her face like they were caught stealing. That sudden movement screams insecurity. Insecurity is not respectful, it is unstable. When you overcorrect, you signal inner conflict, and inner conflict makes her nervous. In a social setting, she may smile, but her body will start guarding. In a professional setting, she may disengage entirely. The third wrong pattern is scanning. Eyes bouncing between chest and face, checking if she noticed, checking if she is judging you, checking for permission. That behavior turns the interaction into performance. Performance reads as need. Need turns women off because it feels like you want validation more than connection. Here is a Stoic frame that cuts through all of this. Epictetus taught that it is not things that disturb us, but our judgments about things. When you judge your own instinct as dirty or dangerous, you create tension. That tension leaks out through your eyes. And when you judge her body like it is the main event, you create pressure. Either way, your gaze stops being calm and becomes a problem. Marcus Aurelius gives you the correction. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your strength here is not pretending you saw nothing. Your strength is staying composed. You notice you breathe, you return to eye contact, and you stay engaged with her as a whole person. No freezing, no flinching, no apologizing with your face. Let me be clear. The wrong way to look also shows up in what you say. If you comment directly on her chest, you reduce her. If you make crude jokes, you lose respect instantly. If you try to recover by over-explaining, you make it worse. A mature man does not turn a moment into a courtroom defense. He redirects calmly and keeps the conversation human. Now, if you want to develop this kind of self-command consistently, consider joining the channel membership. Inside, we train awareness, restraint, and masculine presence in real-world scenarios, so you do not guess, panic, or overcorrect. It is for men who want control, not confusion. If this hit home, write this in the comments. I choose discipline. Stay with me. You will not want to miss what is coming next. Number 5. The right way to look. Folks, here is the honest truth. The right way to look is not pretending you saw nothing, and it is not locking on like you are starving. It is calm awareness followed by immediate presence. You notice for a beat, you return to her eyes, and you stay connected like a man who is in control of himself. That is what reads as masculine, safe, and quietly attractive. Let me give you a real picture. Brian is 50 and works in logistics in Charlotte. He is meeting Erica, 44, for drinks after a charity event. Erica is dressed well, and Brian notices her chest for a split second as she steps in close to greet him. Instead of freezing or snapping away, he takes one slow breath and lifts his gaze back to her face. He holds eye contact, smiles, and says, "You look great tonight." Then he keeps talking like nothing strange happened. Erica feels respected, and she also feels desired, because Brian did not flinch and did not go back for a second look. Now compare that to what most men do. Some men stare, hoping intensity will create chemistry. It does the opposite. It makes her feel pinned. Other men overcorrect and avoid any glance at all. Their eyes dart to the wall or the floor, their shoulders tighten, and the vibe turns awkward. A woman reads that as insecurity, not politeness. The right way is balanced. One brief glance is human. Multiple returns to the same spot is pressure. The key is what your body does. Keep your breathing steady. Keep your jaw relaxed. Keep your shoulders down. When your eyes move, let them move naturally, not like a guilty reflex. Then commit to her face again. If you struggle, pick just one eye and stay there. That focus makes you look confident and present. It also keeps you from drifting back. Context matters too. Brian learned that in his office life. At work, he treats a quick, accidental glance as a non-event and immediately refocuses on her ideas, her words, her professionalism. On a date, he still keeps it classy, but he can acknowledge her overall look without turning it into a body inspection. That is the difference between attraction and objectification. Attraction includes the whole woman. Objectification reduces her. Here is a simple rule. One glance, then lead with attention. Ask a question. Listen closely. Respond to what she says, not what you are imagining. If you catch yourself drifting, do not panic. Recenter and continue. Confidence is not never slipping. Confidence is correcting without drama. Brian noticed something interesting when he started doing this consistently. Women stayed engaged longer. The energy felt lighter. He stopped feeling ashamed for having eyes, and he stopped acting like desire controlled him. That combination is rare, and women feel it fast. It also protects you. You stay dignified and she stays comfortable. That is self-command in real time, and it keeps attraction alive because you can want her without needing her. If this is what you needed to hear, write this in the comments. I choose calm control. Let us keep going. You will not want to miss what comes next. Number 6. Eye control signals power. Folks, this is where everything you have learned so far becomes visible. Eye control is one of the clearest signals of masculine power. Not dominance, not intimidation. Power. The kind that feels calm, contained, and intentional. When a man controls his eyes, he controls the pace, the emotional temperature, and the direction of the interaction. Most men think power is shown by intensity. They lock eyes too long. They try to project confidence by staring harder. That backfires. Intensity without restraint feels unstable. True power feels settled. It does not rush. It does not cling. It does not need to prove itself. Eye control begins with awareness. You notice where your attention wants to go, and you choose where it stays. That choice is everything. Marcus Aurelius said that a man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions. If your ambition is approval, your eyes will betray you. If your ambition is self-command, your gaze will reflect it. Uncontrolled eyes signal hunger. Hunger signals lack. Lack erodes attraction. Controlled eyes signal abundance. Abundance creates safety. Safety keeps desire alive. This is not about suppressing instinct. It is about governing it. Epictetus taught that no man is free who is not master of himself. Your eyes are one of the first places self-mastery shows. Here is what women feel when eye control is present. They feel seen without being examined. They feel acknowledged without being reduced. They feel that the man in front of them is comfortable with desire, but not driven by it. That combination is rare, especially today, and rarity carries weight. Eye control also communicates leadership. A man who can hold eye contact without intensity leads the moment. He is not waiting for permission. He is not searching for reassurance. He is present. Presence is magnetic because it creates emotional grounding. When you are grounded, others relax into the interaction instead of guarding themselves. Most men break eye control during moments of attraction. Their eyes flick down repeatedly, or they avoid eye contact entirely. Both send the same message: inner conflict. Inner conflict creates tension. Tension without grounding feels unsafe. When your eyes stay steady, your body stays steady. When your body stays steady, the moment stays open. Seneca warned that he who is ruled by pleasure is weak. Applied here, pleasure is not the problem. Being ruled by it is. When your eyes chase pleasure, you lose authority. When your eyes remain disciplined, pleasure becomes an option instead of a necessity. That shift changes how you are perceived. Eye control also affects conversation. When you are not visually distracted, you listen better. When you listen better, your responses land deeper. Women feel that depth. They feel that you are with them, not scanning them. That feeling builds trust quickly. Trust does not kill attraction, it stabilizes it. This is why eye control is power. It is silent, it is invisible to most men, but it is felt immediately. A man who controls his gaze does not leak need. He does not overinvest. He does not rush outcomes. He allows things to unfold. That patience signals confidence without effort. Practice this, and you will notice a shift. Interactions slow down. Energy feels smoother. You stop feeling reactive. You stop feeling guilty for noticing. You start feeling centered. That center is what women respond to, not the eyes alone, but the man behind them. If this speaks to you, write this in the comments. I am in control. Stay with me. You will not want to miss what comes next. Number 7. Context makes it acceptable. Folks, this is where many men completely lose the plot. Context decides everything. The same glance, the same awareness, the same behavior can feel respectful in one setting and deeply uncomfortable in another. Men who do not understand context get labeled creepy, not because they are bad men, but because they apply the same behavior everywhere without adjusting. Let's ground this in reality. Steve is 49, an operations manager in Chicago. He meets Emily, 43, at a quarterly business conference. Emily is well-dressed, confident, and attractive. Steve notices her body for a brief moment, then immediately refocuses on the conversation, her ideas, and the work at hand. No lingering. No signals. Emily feels safe and respected because the context is professional. In that space, her body is not an invitation. It is simply part of who she is. Now shift the setting. A month later, Steve meets Rachel, 41, at a friend's backyard gathering on a Saturday night. The energy is social. Drinks are flowing. People are relaxed. Rachel dresses with intention. When Steve notices her body briefly and then meets her eyes calmly, the signal lands differently. In this context, awareness does not feel invasive. It feels human. The key difference is not Steve's eyes. It is the environment and the unspoken agreement of the moment. Most men fail because they ignore this distinction. They either treat every environment like a dating space, or they shut down completely in social situations out of fear of being judged. Both extremes kill attraction. A grounded man reads the room first, then decides how much of himself to bring forward. Here's another example. Marcus is 52, divorced, meeting Allison, 46, during a volunteer event. At first, the context is structured. They work side by side, talk casually, and keep things light. Marcus stays neutral and respectful. Later, when the event ends and a smaller group goes out for drinks, the context shifts. The energy softens. Conversation becomes personal. Now, a brief, controlled awareness feels natural. Allison feels the change too. Because Marcus adjusted with the context, the connection deepens instead of breaking. Women are highly sensitive to context because context signals safety. In professional or public environments, safety comes from boundaries. In social or romantic environments, safety comes from self-control. When a man cannot tell the difference, he feels unpredictable. Unpredictability shuts desire down fast. This is the part men often resist. Just because attraction exists does not mean expression is always appropriate. And just because expression is appropriate does not mean it should be constant. Timing and place matter more than intensity. Men who master context stop guessing. They stop asking, "Is this okay?" Instead, they read energy, body language, tone, setting. They understand that attraction is not forced, it is allowed by the moment. Steve noticed something once he learned this. In work settings, women trusted him more. In social settings, women opened up faster. Nothing about his personality changed, only his awareness of context did. So here is the rule to carry forward. Context sets the rules of engagement. When you respect it, you appear intelligent, socially calibrated and safe. Those qualities make attraction possible without risk. If this connects with you, write this in the comments. I read the room. Stay with me. You will not want to miss what comes next. Number 8. Her body tells you. Folks, here's the part most men ignore because they are too busy thinking. Her body is talking the entire time. Long before words, long before smiles, long before anything is said out loud, her posture, orientation, and micro movements are giving you answers. The problem is not that men don't get signals. The problem is they override them with hope. A woman's body never lies because it does not negotiate. It responds. When she feels safe, her body opens. When she feels pressure, it closes. This happens automatically, without strategy or performance. If you learn to read this language, you stop guessing and stop forcing moments that were never meant to move forward. Let's be grounded here. Open body language means her torso faces you, her shoulders are relaxed, her arms are loose, and her feet stay pointed in your direction. Closed body language means crossed arms, angled hips, leaning away, or creating space. These are not tests, they are feedback. Ignoring feedback is what makes men feel creepy, not attraction itself. Stoic philosophy speaks directly to this. Marcus Aurelius said, "Observe carefully what happens and do not add to it." Most men add stories. She's shy. She's playing hard to get. She needs more time. No. Her body already answered. Wisdom is accepting reality without decoration. When her body turns away, the interaction is over for now, not forever, not dramatically. Just in that moment. A disciplined man does not chase a closed signal. He stays composed. That composure is what keeps dignity intact and attraction possible later. Another clear signal is distance. If she moves closer and stays, comfort is present. If she steps back repeatedly, her nervous system is asking for space. Space is not rejection, it is information. Epictetus taught that freedom comes from aligning with what is not resisting it. When you respect distance, you show control. Control feels safe. Breathing is another cue men miss. When a woman feels comfortable, breathing slows and deepens. When she feels tense, breathing becomes shallow. You do not need to analyze this. You need to feel it. Calm presence creates calm response. Anxiety creates guard. Eye behavior matters too. If her eyes soften and return to yours naturally, connection is active. If her eyes dart, avoid, or scan the room, attention is leaving. Do not fight that. Let it go. A man who releases control gains respect. Seneca warned that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Men suffer because they imagine attraction where the body has already said no. When you accept what her body communicates, you stop suffering and start leading yourself. Here's the deeper truth. Women are not judging you for noticing. They are sensing whether you are listening. Listening is not verbal. Listening is behavioral. When you adjust based on what her body shows you, you signal emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is rare. Rarity is attractive. This is not about becoming passive. It is about becoming precise. You move when the door is open. You pause when it closes. That rhythm creates trust. Trust allows desire to breathe. So, remember this. Her body is giving you the answer in real time. Respecting that answer makes you grounded. Ignoring it makes you pushy. One builds attraction, the other destroys it. If this hit home, write this in the comments. I read signals. Stay with me. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Number 9. Fix it without shame. Folks, this is where most men either recover their power or lose it completely. You noticed. Maybe you looked a second too long. Maybe your eyes dipped at the wrong moment, and now your mind starts racing. Did she notice? Did I mess it up? Should I apologize? Should I explain? That spiral is what actually damages attraction, not the glance itself. Here is the truth most men need to hear. Mistakes only become awkward when you react with shame. Shame collapses, posture tightens the face, and changes your energy instantly. Women do not respond to perfection, they respond to composure. When you stay calm, the moment stays alive. Let me give you a real situation. Robert is 51, a project manager from San Jose, meeting Lisa, 45, for coffee after being introduced by mutual friends. During the conversation, Robert's eyes drift for a moment longer than he intended. He realizes it immediately. Instead of panicking, he stays relaxed. He maintains eye contact, listens, and asks Lisa about her work. His tone does not change. Lisa registers nothing unusual because Robert did not make it unusual. Now compare that to another man. Greg, 48, meeting Hannah, 40, notices the same thing happen. Greg stiffens. He clears his throat. He nervously jokes, "Sorry, I didn't mean to stare." That apology drags attention back to the moment and magnifies it. Hannah feels awkward not because Greg looked, but because Greg lost control of himself afterward. Fixing it without shame means you do not draw attention to the mistake. You redirect naturally, shift the conversation. Ask a grounded question. Comment on something neutral but human. When you act like nothing is wrong, the nervous system follows your lead. Another example, Daniel, 54, divorced and dating again, meets Michelle, 47, at a dinner party. He catches himself glancing while she's laughing. Instead of freezing, he smiles and says, "You have a great laugh," then continues the conversation. Michelle feels appreciated as a whole person, not reduced. The moment passes cleanly. This works because attraction is not fragile. What kills attraction is emotional collapse. Women watch how men handle themselves under pressure. When you stay steady, you demonstrate self-command. Self-command reads as maturity. Maturity restores safety fast. There is also a timing element. Fixing it does not mean immediate correction. It means smooth correction. You let the moment breathe. You do not rush to repair something that does not need repairing. Calm pacing communicates confidence. Robert noticed something after learning this. When he stopped punishing himself internally, his interactions felt lighter. Women stayed engaged. He no longer replayed moments in his head afterward. That inner calm showed up externally. Here is the deeper point. Shame is about identity. Discipline is about behavior. You are not a bad man because your eyes noticed. You become a strong man when your behavior stays aligned with your values. That alignment is what women feel. So remember this. You do not fix moments by apologizing. You fix them by leading yourself back to presence. Presence dissolves awkwardness faster than words ever could. If this resonates, write this in the comments. I stay composed. Don't go anywhere. The final part ties everything together into one clear standard for masculine self-control. Number 10. Self-control creates desire. Folks, this is where everything lands. After all the rules, all the awareness, all the corrections, the real answer is simple. Self-control creates desire. Not tricks, not lines, not confidence performances. A man who can govern himself becomes attractive without trying because his presence feels stable, safe, and intentional. Most men believe desire is created by doing more, saying more, showing more, escalating faster. In reality, desire grows when a man knows when to stop, when to pause, when to redirect his attention without resentment or fear. That restraint signals abundance. Abundance is magnetic. Here's the deeper layer most men miss. Self-control is not about suppression. Suppression creates tension. Tension leaks. Women feel it. Self-control is about integration. You notice desire. You accept it. You do not let it drive your behavior. When desire is contained, it sharpens instead of spilling everywhere. A man with self-control does not feel ashamed of his instincts. He also does not act like a slave to them. That balance is rare. Rare things carry weight. Women sense when a man is comfortable with his masculinity instead of fighting it or indulging it. Self-control also protects connection. When a man controls his gaze, his tone, and his pacing, the interaction feels predictable in the right way. Predictable does not mean boring. It means safe. Safety allows attraction to relax instead of guarding itself. When attraction relaxes, it deepens. There is also a power shift that happens here. Men without self-control chase reactions. Men with self-control allow reactions to come to them. One feels needy, the other feels grounded. Grounded men are remembered because they do not drain energy from the room. They stabilize it. This is why Stoicism fits so cleanly here. The Stoics never taught denial. They taught mastery. Mastery over impulses, mastery over reactions, mastery over the inner state. When a man masters himself, his external behavior becomes effortless. His eyes are calm, his posture is relaxed, his attention is clean. Self-control also changes how you leave interactions. You do not cling. You do not seek reassurance. You end moments cleanly, without extracting validation. That creates unfinished business in her mind, not because you played a game, but because you respected the moment enough not to overuse it. Here is the final truth. Women do not want men who never feel desire. They want men who can feel desire without being controlled by it. That distinction separates boys from men. It separates insecurity from confidence. It separates attention seekers from leaders. When you live from self-control, everything becomes simpler. You stop overthinking glances. You stop replaying moments. You stop apologizing for being a man. You show up calm, centered, and consistent. That consistency builds trust. Trust opens the door for desire to grow naturally. So if you take nothing else from this video, take this. Discipline is attractive. Calm is attractive. Self-command is attractive. Not because women analyze it, but because they feel it. And when a man can be trusted with his own power, he becomes someone others want to be close to. That is the quiet edge most men never develop, and the one that changes everything once they do. Folks, today we broke down what most men are never taught. Why noticing is natural, why staring kills attraction, how context changes everything, and how self-control is what actually creates desire. This video wasn't about tricks or gimmicks. It was about mastering yourself so attraction can grow without pressure or awkwardness. If you want to go deeper and train this kind of calm, masculine discipline in real-life situations, consider joining the channel membership. That's where we build these principles step by step with clarity and purpose. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate your time. I'll see you again tomorrow.